It's time. It's Monday. Not gonna lie. I want to go back to bed. Alrighty. But here we go. In three, two, one. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Today is Monday, November 18th, 2019. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Good morning, Frank. Let's see if we need to do that. We had a technical glitch with what was that Thursday's episode, Friday's episode. Let's see what's going on. What do we have here? No, I see it. Actually, I think I see it twice. I think we're good. Well, big weekend. Big weekend. Training day. Training day was Saturday. Man. Oh. Be still my heart. Such a great day. Such a great time. Another record-setting attendance. It makes 4 years in a row, which tells me we're doing something right. Had more than 80 people on the floor training at various points through the day. I'd say there was a core of 60 people, 55 to 60 people that were there all day. And it was awesome. All the instructors were great. All the sessions were great. Nobody got hurt. And it was fantastic. I want to thank everyone who came out. I want to thank all the instructors for teaching their sessions, the attendees, for some of the younger attendees. I want to thank people who drove. I want to thank all of you that bought shirts. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank everybody. It was a phenomenal event, and a couple people asked me why I wasn't training more. Well, two reasons. First, most of the sessions that were run needed partners. And because I was working, in a sense, it felt unfair to partner up with someone knowing that there was a good chance I would have to step out. So I stayed on the wings for most of it. But I walked around, I listened. I was paying attention to what was going on, don't worry. And then second, I was just kind of basking in what was happening, realizing, accepting that it happened. I did play, yes. That this all happened as a result of an idea that I had. And people came together because of work that I did. And I'm not always good about celebrating things that I've done. So I was trying to do that for myself. And it felt really nice. If you're at all interested in this unique event, there is a Facebook event up already for 2020. Of course, there's no date yet, but that's the easiest way to keep people informed. So search for 2020 Free Training Day, and you should find the event. Yeah, cool. Just thank you to everyone. As you might imagine, after such a long day, went out to dinner with another of the attendees and came home, and I was in bed, I think, like right at 9. And I got up at 8. I was exhausted. It was a long week leading up to it, but totally worthwhile. Yesterday, did a little bit of work, did some chores around the house, and watched a few movies. I signed up for Disney Plus last week, and here's my assessment, which has nothing to do with martial arts. Netflix has more good stuff, but because there's so much stuff on Netflix, it's harder to find it. With Disney Plus, pretty much everything is great, so it's harder to make a bad choice. And for me, that's the challenge. If I actually have time for a movie, I want to know it's going to be worth my time. So yesterday I watched Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a classic. It's a great movie. And I'm not gonna lie, The Mandalorian is a pretty decent show. So we'll see where it goes. Pretty decent. Amazon Prime does have a ton of martial arts movies. Um, I love martial arts, and I love martial arts movies, but they're not what I spend most of my time watching. And I think it's because so much of my life is martial arts that that's not the first place I go. There's a reason it took collaborating with Josh Blum to get me to watch 36 Chambers and to get me to watch Ong Bak. And I'm glad I did. But I just gravitate towards non-martial arts stuff. Now, speaking of martial arts content, it is Monday, which means there's another episode of Martial Arts Radio out. Today is with Miss Juju Chan, who you may not know by name, but if you watch martial arts movies, there's a good chance you're going to recognize her. She's an actress and is really doing some big stuff. So it was a pretty good get. Pretty lucky that we got her on the show. So check that out, of course, here on YouTube or in your podcast feed, or at whistlekickmartialartsradio.com. It's supposed to warm up this week. Hopefully all this snow melts. We'll see. I do have a couple more outside things I could do, would like to do, but kind of got to wait for the snow to melt in order to get them done. Was definitely waiting until the last minute. But that's how it is with Vermont winter. Winter can come anywhere from October to May. You got like 3 to 4 months, really 4 months that you're guaranteed no snow. May through October, it rarely snows. You don't get much snow in May. You don't get much snow in October. And if you do, it probably doesn't stick. But it can get kind of cold. But November through April, it's a solid 6 months. Why do you live here, people ask? Because it's beautiful. Because the people are great. Because having snow 6 months of the year keeps most people away. And that's okay. So, what else do I want to share? I think that was it. Well, let's take a look at these questions that Frank was kind enough to write down for us. And just because Frank does questions every day doesn't mean you can't do questions every day or on occasion. No reason we can't mix it up. If you want to ask a question, drop it below. Why do you think men don't always like going to the doctor? I think instinctively men have an independent streak. And a lot of it's cliche, the idea of not wanting to go to the doctor or the dentist or ask for directions, etc. I think a lot of men, maybe even most men, take pride in being independent, on getting things accomplished on their own, on coming out of, taking the groceries out of the car. Oh. Frank says there's an initiative in the world-renowned Cleveland Clinic taking place. It's called Men Chin It. Okay. Men like to create. They like to build. It's and none of what I'm saying is intended to be divisive or to suggest that women can't do certain things and men have to do things in certain ways. Not at all like that. I think that there are some things that are instinctive to male versus female behavior. I think it's where a lot of, not all, but a lot of gender stereotypes come from. I think they are rooted in some historical, we'll say, habits. In order for someone to go to the doctor, they have to admit there could be something wrong. I think it comes down to that. There could be something wrong. Going to the doctor, yes, can also imply someone could feel that it's suggesting weakness because doctor, if you were perfectly strong and healthy, yeah. I don't look at it that way. I see a doctor as a partner in health, and yeah, it's still my responsibility. It's still my job just to keep me healthy. But I have used doctors of various kinds to help me deal with things, to help me get towards certain goals, whether that be a massage therapist or a chiropractor or an acupuncturist or a therapist or a naturopath or a nurse practitioner. I mean, I've, in the last like 3 years, I've seen all of these people, and I'm better for it. Just as you're not going to become as good of a martial artist without getting some instruction, some coaching, and working with other people, you're not going to have as robust health as you could unless you're getting some testing and working with some of these people. So there's a point where it's independence, and it can also degrade to the point of being stubborn. What was that? Have you thought of having Jocko Willink on your show? I don't know who that is. So no, I have not thought of having him on the show, Wesley, but I don't think I'm opposed. I mean, anybody with the first name Jocko makes me pause, makes me wonder. Maybe I should be embarrassed for not knowing that name, but I don't. Do you ever feel like not going to the doctor? Yeah, every time I'm supposed to go to the dentist. Because here's the contrast. The dental hygienist, the woman who does the cleaning at the dental clinic that I go to, she's awesome. Really like her. She's really friendly. She gives, I think it's the best. Her cleanings are the best I've ever had. The dentist who owns the clinic is rude and dismissive. Somehow last time I was there, I pretty much got yelled at for smoking. And I don't even smoke. Well, Frank says he has to go today. Good luck. Yeah, she came in the room to ask a few questions. You don't smoke, do you? No. Not even vaping? It's like, why am I on trial? I spent $160 and I was there for 25 minutes because my teeth were in good shape. How about you not be mean? I decided that if she was like that next time I went in, we're going to have a conversation. Because I don't need to be treated that way. Because I am an adult and I refuse to be treated like some foolish child by someone I am paying. I'm going to make a small change on this last question, Frank. Instead of how can men learn to talk more about their health, I'm going to change it up. How should all of us learn to talk more about health? What's Stacy say? I can't picture you smoking, but if you were to, that's your choice. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I've traveled to some Central American countries and Caribbean countries, and a lot of these countries make cigars. And I have a collection of cigars that I've brought back in a humidor, and I have like one a year. They're probably so far, if you were a cigar aficionado, you would probably cringe at the age of some of these cigars and how I'm keeping them. But, like once a summer, there'll be a nice night, and I'll sit outside with a drink and a cigar, and that's it. That is the extent of my tobacco use. Here's the challenge with the way we talk about our health, at least in America. We complain about it, and we assume we talk about it as if it is separate from us. Oh, my leg doesn't do that anymore. My shoulder always has these problems. I'm just always tight right there. You know, like that's how it's supposed to be, and it's not. And we dismiss the situation like it can't be changed, which is not true. Every cell in our body started as some combination of food and water and light and air. Right? Those are the building blocks, roughly. Cells die, they regrow from food and water and light and air. Given the right combinations, you can do anything. I'm 40 years old. I am undoubtedly in the best shape of my life. I have been able to say that every year for the last decade. And I continue to understand my body and my health and work with medical professionals to understand what's going on with me and what I need. For example, in the last 2 years, the biggest thing that's happened, I learned that my testosterone was on the lower side. Not chronically low, not medically low, but still on the low side of average. So I started supplementing with ashwagandha, which is a very inexpensive Ayurvedic herb. It's an adaptogen, so there's little to no risk of taking too much, and it has changed things. And because of that, my physical exercise has been more productive, and I have lost body fat, I have increased muscle mass, I feel better, etc. Things that even my general practitioner, who I will probably never see again, told me I pretty much had to live with. I refuse to accept that. We get one body, and it's up to us to take care of it, to treat it in the way that allows us to live the life that we want. It's never too late to take care of yourself or someone else. It's never too late to learn more. It's never too late for anything, if it's important. So one of the things that I will do, and this can be very frustrating to people, I know it is, but I'm trying to get some change. I'm trying to get them to realize something. They'll talk about some physical thing that's going on, and they're dismissive of it, as if they can't change it. And I'll challenge them on that. And I'll tell them the same food, light, water, air thing. And what it really comes down to is they're lacking some combination of knowledge and effort. You have to have a willingness to change anything. But by being dismissive, by using detached language, it's as if we get to defer responsibility. You know what? There are circumstances where some aspect of your health is not your fault. Most of the time, your current standing is 100% on your shoulders. Doesn't mean you have to change anything, but the first thing you should do is take responsibility for it. Do I always eat great food? No. Most of the time. Could I exercise more? Absolutely. Do I? Sometimes. Do I have the physical body that I really want to have? No, but I feel like I'm getting there. Now, I could blame genetics. I could blame, I've got diabetes on both sides of my family. I could blame, I could blame a lot of people for a lot of things, but I'm not going to. What does that get me? It doesn't change where I'm at. It doesn't change the cards I was dealt. Do poker players sit there and complain about the cards that they pick up? No. Because it's up to them to play the hand. That's what it's like with you, with your body, with your mind, with your circumstances. How do you play that hand the best way you can? And this is probably a great thing for us to talk about on a Monday. You assuming you work a Monday through Friday job, you've now got 5 days ahead of you to do something, to move the ball forward to whatever is important to you, whether that's personally or professionally, whether it's martial arts or not. There's a lot you can do. What am I going to do? I've got a bunch of stuff that we're doing, getting ready for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and all these holiday promotions. We've got some new apparel that we're working to roll out that should be out on Black Friday, maybe a couple days before. We'll see. There's some special holiday edition stuff that we're looking at. So, yeah. If you're not on the newsletter, or you're not checking out whistlekick.com every week or so, you should be. Get on the newsletter. We're going to drop coupons in there for holiday stuff. Go to whistlekick.com. There should be a pop-up. You can sign up. Every day, every hour, every minute is an opportunity to move forward in whatever's important to you. You choose how to handle it. I think I've got a fairly light day today. The whole doing a couple hours of work on Sunday, opening up the week, is pretty great. I'm not gonna lie. I sat on the couch yesterday, watched some TV, knocked through a few emails. I didn't work that hard, but it's a few things that aren't on the plate for today, which is kind of cool. So, I'm gonna go. Remember, if you want to ask a question, drop it below. I'll answer it tomorrow. Because we do this show 5 days a week. Every Monday through Friday. Weekdays. 6:30 a.m. Eastern here on YouTube. Subscribe, turn on notifications so you get that notice that we have gone live for this or for other things. We have a lot of content and there is even more in development. Yes, we are a content company that happens to sell things at the same time. If you want to ask a question, I already did that part. Homework. I want you to look at your life and I want you to find one thing that you can take ownership of, control over, that maybe you've been blaming others or blaming the world or just detaching responsibility from. Might be uncomfortable, might be painful, but it's not until you do that that you'll be able to move it forward, that you'll be able to change it truly. So, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Take care. Peace.